What's up, people? I promised you spoiler talk for Star Wars The Last Jedi, and that is exactly what we're doing today. And I got that coming up for you next. So, spoilers for The Last Jedi. Man, I definitely, in even the first 15 minutes of this movie, knew that I would have to do a spoiler review. As a matter of fact, even before I actually went into the movie, just because I had already heard the hate, and I wanted to give you guys a little insight about where I fell down on it. Now, right off the top, I love the comedy in this movie, and I know it can be off-putting, but at the same point in time, I just found this movie to be hilarious. Even when Rey goes to hand Luke his lightsaber, and he just chucks it over his shoulder and into the river. I definitely thought that was funny, and a very cool play on how The Force Awakens ended. And that is the kind of comedy that I genuinely want from these movies, just because they play with what you have expected and then they give you a little funny bit about it. But at the same point in time, we'll talk about it, but you can definitely take this movie seriously because there is some serious shit that goes down. I didn't really want to get into it during the actual movie review that I did, but the lightsaber battle with Rey and Kylo Ren in this movie is awesome, and one of my favorite lightsaber battles ever in a Star Wars movie. That scene kicked a whole lot of ass, and I know that a lot of people are disappointed about how they took out Snoke. But with that kicking it off, and then everybody just going nuts and starting off that lightsaber battle with all of those Imperial guards, damn, I love that shit. A lot of people are also complaining about the back and forth comedy between Kylo Ren and General Hux. I will just say that I really did like it, especially towards the end of the movie, after Snoke died, and they seem like they are just fighting for control of this offshoot of the empire that they have created. I definitely do like the inner workings of these new Star Wars movies that they are weaving in here. And this movie definitely continued that, and I truly did dig it, and I like the comedy behind it. Now, in The Force Awakens, I was very much skeptical of Kylo Ren. He seemed like a petulant jerk. And really, this movie sold me on him in a way that The Force Awakens didn't. He definitely gets a badass action scene in this movie, and you get to see more of his Force powers and how strong he is. I get the inner workings of Kylo Ren a lot more, and he feels like a lot more of a fleshed out character in this movie. And I definitely like more scenes with Poe Dameron in this movie. I really dig Oscar Isaacs in almost everything that he does, and I really do like what he brings to this character. He definitely feels like he is in a different movie. He's a more fast-talking, very witty character, but at the same point in time, I definitely do like him, and I can't decide whether Finn or him is like the new Han Solo, but hey, they can both have it because they're both excellent. A thing that I wanted to talk about here is the death of Snoke. We saw him in The Force Awakens as just a holographic projection, and they really got into him here, and I would have liked more time with him, but at the same point in time, the surprise of him dying and Kylo Ren taking him out, for me, was just a really welcome surprise. And hey, I've already talked about the action scene that comes after it, and I love it. So in the end, I genuinely went with it, with the caveat that I wanted to know more about Snoke, and I really didn't. Now, there are a few things that really confused me about this movie, and that started with what seemed like the death of General Leia, Carrie Fisher's character. I will just say that, you know, I thought she was dead during that bomb, and then she just floats out into space, and I know she's Luke's brother, but at the same point in time, I didn't really expect her to have the Force, and the way that they want to show you that she has the Force, you know, at this particular point in time, it's weird, and it's off-putting. And the way that she acts after it, is she supposed to be the new Yoda, or is Luke supposed to be the new Yoda? Because it seems like we have two, like, all-knowing presence in this movie, and it is largely Princess Leia or General Leia. And Luke, I kind of wish they would have just stuck to her being the person that she was in the original trilogy. And then we have Rey. You know, she is a androgynously named snowflake. You know, Rey, everything comes easy to Rey. And I definitely felt like that in The Force Awakens, and I still feel like that here. She doesn't get any training, and yet she can just kick a whole lot of ass. And I look forward to her kicking ass. It definitely looks good, but at the same point in time, I just wonder why is she such a snowflake? Why can she just do these things without being trained? That is really not how the Force works in that original trilogy, and I wish they would have stuck with that here. And another thing that I am not sure how I vibe with is the idea of her not being special at all. Yeah, they're just junkers that abandoned you for pretty much just beer money. I really actively don't like that. But at the same point in time, I want to present something to everybody. The way that the scene happens is Kylo Ren uses the Force to see it, but at the same point in time, we don't know how much Snoke was interfering with his visions or his Force, because it is said by Snoke that he was manipulating Kylo Ren. So, my question to you is, do you think that he put that in Kylo Ren's head just to throw them off of who her parents actually are? And I would definitely like that if that comes out in the 3rd episode. But at the same point in time, if they stay as junkers, just don't do that, because that is bad, horrible storytelling. Despite my small problems that I had with it, I genuinely loved this movie. It would probably be my movie of the year, honestly. It is a really great spectacle of a movie that I can't wait to own in 4K, because there is a rumor going around that this is going to be the very first 4K Ultra HD Star Wars release, and I am glad, because this movie was actually mastered in 4K. So it is not an up-conversion of 2K like most films are, and like The Force Awakens was. This movie is, if it truly does come in Ultra HD, it will be true 4K, and I can't wait to review it. I cannot wait. So subscribe, people, so you know when that video comes out. You know you want to hear me talking about it. And if you disagree with anything that I talked about on this video, or if you agree with me and you just want to talk about Star Wars, comment below. I want to know what you guys think. And as always, guys, thank you for watching my videos. You guys are great, and I will see all of you next time.